The journey of vaccine development. Safety standards for vaccines are the highest in all medicine. Why? Because unlike treatments and medicines for people who are ill, vaccines are offered to children and adults who are healthy. Before and even after a vaccine is licensed, the Federal Food and Drug Administration, or the FDA, makes the rules for a multi-step process that began in 1902 and has become more detailed and even more effective over the last century. So what are the steps a new vaccine must climb before it's approved for use? Before the process even begins, the need for a particular vaccine is ascertained by scientists, and preliminary work in the lab and on animals determines whether the candidate vaccine is potentially toxic. If not, an application for a new drug or an IND is submitted to a group of experts at the FDA for their approval to proceed. After this is done, a new vaccine is developed by undergoing 4 phases. Phase 1. Researchers test vaccines with adults first. Between 20 and 100 health volunteers receive the test vaccine to determine, is the vaccine safe? Does the vaccine seem to produce an immune response? Are there any serious side effects, so-called adverse event following vaccination, AEFI? How is the size of the dose related to side effects? Once Phase 1 studies are completed, we move on to Phase 2. Here we want to know what are the most common short-term side effects, and how are the volunteers' immune systems responding to the vaccine? At this point, we are ready to expand the study considerably to Phase 3. In this phase, people who get the vaccine, the so-called experimental folks, are compared to those who do not get the new candidate vaccine, but get either a placebo like sugar water or an unrelated vaccine. Those who do not get the vaccine being tested are called controls. These trials are quite expensive, costing millions of dollars. Because children are involved, an independent Vaccine Safety Monitoring Board carefully supervises the execution of the study. From beginning through Phase 3, it may take 10 to 20 years and as much as $1 billion to bring the new vaccine to market. After Phases 1 through 3 are completed, the manufacturer prepares a biologics license application, which the FDA approves only if the vaccine is found to be safe and effective and the benefits outweigh the risks. After licensure, the Advisory Council on Immunization Practices, the so-called ACIP of the CDC, which is made up of experts across the country in immunization, makes formal recommendations as to how this new vaccine should be used. It considers how safe is the vaccine when given at specific ages? How well does the vaccine work at specific ages? How serious is the disease that this vaccine prevents? How many children would get the disease the vaccine prevents if we didn't have the vaccine? The ACIP recommendations are not official until the CDC director reviews and approves them, and they are published in the CDC's official publication, the MMWR. It is only then that these recommendations become part of the U.S. official childhood immunization schedule and become the standard of care. That's not the end of the story, however. For safety reasons, the manufacturing company devises a Phase 4, during which any AEFI is reported to the company through a formal process and then to the FDA. Further, there are 2 formal mechanisms for determining safety of a vaccine after its licensure. 1. The Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System, or VAERS, collects and analyzes reports of AEFIs that happen after vaccination. Anyone can submit such a report. 2. The Vaccine Data Link, or the VSD, is a formal program from amongst large managed care organizations all over the country which observe AEFIs amongst 3% of all children in the United States. As opposed to theirs, this system has a denominator to compare apparent side effects, coincident to giving vaccines, to a real problem with a higher frequency of giving the vaccine. Producing a new vaccine is carefully and expensively done, with the greatest concern being that of safety.